Have you ever spoken your truth only to be met with hostility? Why does society punish those who dare to challenge the status quo? Today, we're diving into one of Nietzsche's most provocative ideas, herd morality. He believed that society doesn't just fear truth, it actively suppresses it, and in doing so, it punishes those who speak out. From whistleblowers and activists to outspoken friends and colleagues, truth-tellers often face backlash for exposing uncomfortable realities. But why? What is it about honesty that threatens the fabric of society? By the end of this video, you'll understand Nietzsche's critique of herd morality and what it means to embrace individuality in a world that rewards conformity. So let's get started. To understand why society hates truth-tellers, we first need to explore what Nietzsche meant by herd morality. Herd morality is the set of values that prioritizes conformity, safety, and mediocrity. It rewards obedience and punishes individuality. For Nietzsche, this was the foundation of modern society, a system designed to suppress greatness in favor of uniformity. In his view, herd morality creates a culture where standing out is dangerous and fitting in is rewarded. Think about it. How often have you felt pressured to conform, to go along with the group even when you knew something wasn't right? This isn't accidental. It's baked into the very structure of society. Nietzsche called this the tyranny of the mediocre. The masses cling to mediocrity because it's safer than striving for greatness. Challenging the status quo disrupts the delicate balance of societal norms, making truth-tellers a threat to the collective comfort. Take whistleblowers, for example. When someone exposes corruption or injustice, they're often labelled as troublemakers or outsiders. Why? Because their words force us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and our systems. But here's the thing. Nietzsche didn't see herd morality as inherently evil. He saw it as a natural response to fear. Fear of change, fear of chaos, fear of losing control. To understand why society punishes truth-tellers, we need to dig deeper into the psychology behind this fear. So why does society hate truth-tellers? Let's break it down. First, there's fear of disruption. Truth-tellers expose uncomfortable realities. They shine a light on the lies we tell ourselves to maintain comfort and order. Whether it's calling out systemic injustice or challenging popular narratives, their words disrupt the illusion of harmony. Then there's the threat to the status quo. Society operates on a delicate balance of shared beliefs and values. When someone speaks the truth, they destabilize this balance. This makes them a target for ridicule, punishment, or even ostracism. Finally, there's projection of guilt. Truth-tellers force others to confront their own complicity in systemic problems. Instead of facing this discomfort, people often lash out at the messenger. It's easier to silence the truth-teller than to admit fault. Think about historical examples. Galileo challenging the church, Martin Luther King Jr. confronting racial injustice, Edward Snowden exposing government surveillance. Each of these individuals faced immense backlash for speaking their truth. Even in personal relationships, honesty can come at a cost. How many times have you stayed silent to avoid rocking the boat, or been punished for voicing an unpopular opinion? For Nietzsche, this hatred stems from the tyranny of the mediocre. The herd resents those who rise above it, not because they're wrong, but because they remind the masses of their own limitations. But what if greatness requires courage? To answer that, let's turn to Nietzsche's solution: embracing individuality. Nietzsche believed that true strength comes from embracing your individuality, even if it means standing alone. He introduced the concept of the Übermensch, or superhuman, someone who creates their own values rather than conforming to societal expectations. For Nietzsche, Greatness wasn't about fitting in, it was about transcending the herd. The Übermensch redefines success on their own terms, refusing to be bound by the limitations of mediocrity. This doesn't mean rejecting all social norms, it means questioning them. Are you living authentically, or are you simply going through the motions? What truths do you hold back out of fear? And what would it take for you to speak them? Embracing individuality isn't easy. It requires courage, resilience, and a willingness to face rejection. But Nietzsche reminds us that greatness demands sacrifice. As he famously said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." By stepping outside the herd, you reclaim your power to define your own path. You become a truth teller, not for recognition, but because it's the only way to live authentically. Consider Galileo, who dared to challenge the Church's geocentric model of the universe, or Martin Luther King Jr., whose fight for civil rights forced America to confront its racist foundations. Even today, whistleblowers like Edward Snowden risk everything to expose truths that powerful institutions would rather keep hidden. Closer to home, think about moments when you've stayed silent to avoid conflict, or when you've spoken up and faced backlash. These stories remind us that truth-telling is rarely easy, but it's always necessary. Society hates truth-tellers because they disrupt the comfort of conformity. But as Nietzsche reminds us, greatness requires courage. Maybe the real question isn't why society hates truth-tellers, but whether you're all willing to become one. What truths do you hold back out of fear? Share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next